Biceps are one of the most trained muscle groups at the gym. While common bicep exercises that are in a supinated position help make it bigger, but these are not exercises that will help your bicep grow wider. This is because the bicep muscle group is divided into three sections. The first two sections or heads of the biceps are commonly known as the long head and the short head. The long head is the majority of the peak of your bicep, while the short head mainly helps provide the thickness of the overall bicep. But now, the last section, which is crucial for wider biceps, is known as the brachialis. This muscle is right behind the long head of the bicep and is directly between your bicep and tricep. The belly of the brachialis usually protrudes in such a way that ultimately makes your biceps grow wider. If you want to grow a wider bicep, you'll have to take a different approach, of which we'll mention all of it in this video. The first exercise to achieve this is the hammer lean curl. In this exercise, you'll have to focus on one arm at a time, keeping your elbow close to your side and maintaining a neutral grip. You want to take the tension from the anterior deltoid to the brachialis. Ensure that your elbows are always tucked in throughout the movement in order to avoid them flaring out when lifting the barbell. Do this for 8 to 10 reps without using your anterior deltoid to lift the weight, but always keeping the focus on the brachialis. The brachialis activation is mostly at the bottom part of this movement, so you don't have to lift the weight all the way up to your chest. The next exercise is the alternating cross-body hammer curl. This is another exercise that you'll only need 2 dumbbells in order to perform. While standing, hold the dumbbells at your sides. Lean slightly forward in order to take your shoulder out of the movement, so we keep the tension on the brachialis as much as possible. Curl the dumbbell up, targeting your opposite chest peg, and slowly bring it back down. Always keep your elbows locked at your side and move in a slow and controlled pace. Again, with the height of the movement, you want to make sure that you don't go above your chest peg. This is to preserve the activation of the brachialis. Lifting the dumbbell too high up will slightly shift the tension to the anterior deltoid. Do this for 8 to 10 reps on the left arm, then again on the right arm, always making sure that the elbow is locked in the entire time. The next exercise is the pronated spider curls. We'll be performing this workout with a drop set in order to increase the tension onto the brachialis. Using an EZ bar, keep your hands at shoulder width apart, with your palms facing down. Performing this exercise with an EZ bar will help keep the wrist as comfortable as possible. Perform the movement in full range of motion for the first 8 to 10 reps. Then, upon fatigue, continue with the movement, but this time returning halfway. Again, this is to increase the tension on the brachialis, and doing partial ranges of motion will keep the tension on the brachialis. The next exercise is the pronated dumbbell curl. Notice how most of these exercises are performed in a pronated position. This is because this position highly activates the brachialis. In order to perform this exercise properly, you'll have to bend your knees slightly. Lean your chest forward a little bit. Retract your shoulders, ensuring that you keep your arms in a pronated position. Perform the exercise in a nice and controlled pace in order to keep the tension on the brachialis. Another way to execute this exercise is that instead of leaning your chest slightly forward and lowering the dumbbells slightly at an angle by lowering the dumbbells in a pronated position, but this time completely flat as though you are trying to flex your tricep. This will greatly engage your brachialis, and this is a great way to activate your bicep in general, because it will introduce a definite pump onto your biceps. Always make sure that when performing this exercise, your pace is in a slow and controlled motion. Otherwise, if you'll be moving at a fast pace, you'll be completely going against the purpose of this exercise. This is the mistake that most guys at the gym are doing. This exercise is by far the most effective exercise, especially if you have stubborn biceps. This is known as the concentration curl. In order to perform this exercise, you'll need to be seated on the bench. With your legs wide open, pin your one hand on your knee while holding the dumbbell with the other hand. Make sure to keep your upper elbow against the inside of your thigh and keep the dumbbell hanging in a neutral position. Then curl the dumbbell towards your chest, making sure that you twist the dumbbell in a way that will put your wrist in a supinated position at the end of the movement. Now, the trick is to make sure that you squeeze your bicep in such a way that your pinky comes up higher than your thumb. Performing this workout like this will definitely put tension on the short head of your bicep. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on that notification icon. Thanks for watching.